Traveling abroad can be an exciting opportunity, whether you're going for vacation or looking for work. But when it comes to visas, choosing the right one is crucial. Many people get confused between a tourist visa and a work visa, two of the most common types of travel permits. They might seem similar, but they serve completely different purposes and come with very different rules. So, what exactly is the difference between a tourist visa and a work visa? Can you work while on a tourist visa? How long can you stay in a country with a work visa? And what happens if you violate the terms of your visa? Today, we'll break down everything you need to know about tourist visas versus work visas, so you can make the right decision before planning your trip abroad. Tourist visa versus work visa. Understanding the key differences when traveling internationally. Choosing the right visa is crucial, as each visa type serves a specific purpose and comes with distinct regulations. A tourist visa is designed for individuals who want to visit a country for leisure, sightseeing, or visiting family and friends. This visa is typically short-term, allowing stays ranging from a few weeks to several months, depending on the destination. For example, countries like the United States grant a B2 tourist visa for up to 6 months, while Schengen countries allow 90-day stays within a 180-day period. Tourist visas generally require proof of return tickets, sufficient financial resources, and accommodation details, ensuring that visitors do not overstay. However, one strict limitation is that a tourist visa does not permit employment, engaging in work, whether physically in the country or even remotely for a foreign employer, can lead to visa cancellation, fines, or deportation. Therefore, individuals who plan to work abroad must explore legal work visa options instead. On the other hand, a work visa is issued for employment purposes and typically allows longer stays than a tourist visa. Unlike a tourist visa, a work visa is often sponsored by an employer, meaning the applicant needs a job offer before applying. Work visas come in different types, depending on the profession and country. For example, the H-1B visa in the United States is for skilled professionals, while the Tier 2 work visa in the United Kingdom is for employees in industries with labor shortages. Some countries also issue temporary work permits for seasonal jobs, such as agricultural work or tourism-related employment. Work visas often provide a path to permanent residency if the applicant stays employed and meets certain criteria. However, they also come with restrictions. Most work visas only allow employment with a sponsoring employer, and changing jobs often requires a new visa application. Additionally, if a work visa holder loses their job, they might be required to leave the country within a specific time frame, unless they secure another employer to sponsor their stay. One common mistake travelers make is assuming they can work on a tourist visa and later convert it into a work visa. In most countries, this is not allowed, and individuals must return to their home country to apply for the appropriate work visa. Some countries do offer exceptions, allowing a transition from a tourist visa to a work visa under special circumstances, but these policies vary widely. For example, in countries like Canada and Australia, certain tourist visa holders can apply for a work permit if they secure a job before their tourist visa expires. However, in many places, working illegally on a tourist visa can lead to serious consequences, such as being banned from re-entering the country. Therefore, it is essential to carefully research the visa policies of your destination before making travel or employment plans. Whether you are exploring a country as a tourist or planning to work abroad, having the correct visa will ensure a smooth and hassle-free experience. Let's get started. 1. What is a tourist visa? A tourist visa is a type of visa that allows foreign travelers to visit a country for a short period, usually for leisure, sightseeing, or visiting family and friends. It is meant for non-work related travel, meaning you are not allowed to engage in any form of employment. While on a tourist visa, the length of a tourist visa varies by country. Some nations allow visitors to stay for a few weeks, while others grant several months. For example, the United States B2 tourist visa typically allows stays of up to 6 months. The Schengen visa for Europe permits stays of up to 90 days within a 180-day period. Many Asian countries, like Thailand and Japan, offer 30 to 90-day visas for tourists. To get a tourist visa, travelers usually need to provide have a checkmark hash a valid passport, have a checkmark hash proof of return flight tickets, have a checkmark hash hotel reservations or an invitation letter, have a checkmark hash proof of sufficient funds for their stay. Some countries require a visa application in advance, while others offer visa on arrival or visa-free entry depending on your nationality. But here's the most important rule: you cannot work on a tourist visa. Doing so can result in legal consequences, fines, or even deportation. 2. What is a work visa? A work visa is completely different from a tourist visa because it is issued for employment purposes. If you plan to work legally in a foreign country, you must obtain a work visa or work permit. Unlike a tourist visa, a work visa is long-term and often tied to a specific employer or job. Contract. This means you cannot just enter a country on a tourist visa and start working. You must apply for a work visa before beginning any job. Different countries have different types of work visas, such as H-1B visa, USA for skilled professionals in specialized fields like IT, engineering, and healthcare. T2 work visa, UK for skilled workers with a job offer from a UK-based employer. Canada work permit, issued to foreign workers who have received a job offer from a Canadian employer. 457 visa, Australia for temporary skilled workers. To apply for a work visa, you generally need have a checkmark hash a job offer from an employer in that country, have a checkmark hash a work contract, have a checkmark hash educational and professional qualifications, have a checkmark hash a medical checkup and background verification. One of the biggest benefits of a work visa is that it often allows longer stays and, in some cases, provides a pathway to permanent residency. However, work visas also come with restrictions. You cannot work for another employer without authorization, and if you lose your job, you may need to leave the country or reapply for a new visa. 3. Can you work on a tourist visa? One of the most common mistakes people make is trying to work while on a tourist visa. Many think they can get a job first and then apply for a work visa later, but in most countries, this is illegal. If you are caught working on a tourist visa, you may face warning sign hash fines and penalties, warning sign hash deportation and banning from re-entering the country, warning sign hash legal action from immigration authorities. In some cases, people try to bypass work visa requirements by doing under-the-table jobs, such as working at a restaurant or freelancing online. However, even if the job is remote, many countries still consider it a violation of visa terms. The best approach? If you plan to work, always apply for a legal work visa first. 4. Key differences between a tourist visa and a work visa. Knowing these differences can save you from legal trouble and help you plan your international travel and work properly. 5. How to convert a tourist visa to a work visa. In most cases, you cannot directly convert a tourist visa into a work visa. If you travel to a country as a tourist and later receive a job offer, you must return to your home country and apply for a work visa from there. However, some countries offer exceptions, allowing you to switch from a tourist visa to a work visa without leaving. These policies vary by country, so it's always best to check with immigration authorities before making any decisions. 6. Which visa should you apply for? If you're still unsure about which visa to apply for, ask yourself these questions. White heavy checkmark: are you traveling for vacation, sightseeing, or visiting family? Apply for a tourist visa. White heavy checkmark: do you have a job offer in another country? Apply for a work visa. White heavy checkmark: do you plan to work remotely while traveling? Check the country's laws before applying, as some nations consider remote work a violation of a tourist visa. Always research visa policies before traveling, as immigration rules change frequently. Now that you know the difference between a tourist visa and a work visa, you can make an informed decision before traveling abroad. Want more insights on visas and international travel? Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell for more useful travel tips. See you in the next video. Safe travels!